What I hope that we could do is we would not preach and proselytize. Anybody who has the capacity to watch the show has the capacity to engage in certain ways.
It is about the human spirit, you know, it's about faith. It's about what happens to families, you know, do they come together, do they fall apart?
Some of the things people talk about, they're interested, like, oh, it's really kind of interesting you didn't use any makeup. And I say, well, it's not true. We use the appropriate amount for each character.
Throughout these 11 episodes, it's really like an investigation on how we interact with each other as human beings when tragedy arrives.
What I remember in the pilot is that scene on the side of the road, me going, "You're doing it in one take? You're doing it in one take? This is a huge mistake. This is a big mistake. You should like get a cut of the grass or a cut of the sky, because when I suck, you're gonna want to cut away to something."
Hector he's complicated. He's emotional. He's a father. He's a son. He's everything that everybody else is. He's just put in a messed up situation, and he deals with it the best he can, but he's no different from the rest of the world.
I would describe her as a woman who has been so probably damaged from her initial family, from the family that she grew up in, and then of course chose a man who was bad for her and left her and her two boys and was an addict. I think we find her now as brittle. She has I use this phrase a lot, but she has a parched internal life.
For me, my only desire was to try to create characters like Barb, where she will say things that will stand some people up. But there are also elements when she's talking about, you don't know what it was like for me raising my two boys in public housing. She's not a woman who just grew up in the suburbs and never met a person of color.
It was beautiful that we didn't come from the cop's perspective, where it was like chasing the bad guy. It was really discovering on how this affects one person, but it affects our society as a whole. And I have a lot of friends that I come from the community with that really like appreciated John creating this story and telling the truth of it, which hasn't been told before.